you for joining us. I have our whole team here with us again tonight: Stephanie Bergelser, Jalen Oxley, and Chase Dinkel. Our team has been working diligently this quarter, and the results for quarter three are outstanding. We have some exciting changes for Carbonite bikes. Items such as improved marketing, improved benefits, and some changes to our products to align with our customers' needs. And with those changes in mind, I'd like to share our market share results with you. I want to first start by going back to quarter two and kind of giving you a result from that. In quarter two, we were tied for second place for the total market share with another company, but due to the changes we made in quarter three, I'm proud to announce that we now have a first market share standing overall with an unbelievable 39% of the market share. Next, I'd like to show our market demand recap of quarter two. It wasn't what we had hoped it would be, but we knew as a startup company it would take some time to jump in and get things moving, and boy did it jump up for us. Our Camino, our recreational bike, we jumped from a demand in quarter two of 183 units to a demand of 440 units. Our mountain bike, the Annihilator, jumped up from a demand of 87 units to a total of 235 demand units. And then the surprise for our quarter three, our speed bike, the Jaguar, it jumped up from 183 units in demand to a demand of 503, and we're proud to announce that. That's our biggest seller, and I'm going to hand this off to Stephanie, and she's got some more news for you.
All right, great. Thank you, Gary. So looking at brand profitability and judgment, going into quarter three, I guess we should back up. In the quarter two, we opted into market research, and we found that that was very useful whenever we looked at quarter three and made our decisions. Based off of that market research, we learned that the Camino and Jaguar are both ranked right at 70 within the customer acceptance. And since recreation and speed are the top two segments of our company, we decided that we were going to redesign both of them. The Camino is now Camino 2.0 with a basket, standard brakes, comfort handlebars, and no front suspension. And Jaguar is now Jaguar 2.0 with precision brakes and 14-speed gears. Both redesigns cost at $60,000 for the quarter, but we did feel it was worth it based off of the end quarter numbers that Gary was just saying and also shown here. The Camino 2.0 ranked in at 74, and Jaguar 2.0 ranked in at 80, which is 5 points above the second place holder of Velocity Bikes. Then looking at the pricing and judgment, after we redesigned the Camino 2.0, we also decided that we were going to put a price increase. It was originally at $900, and we upped it $150 to put it at $1,050 with no price rebate still. And then the Jaguar 2.0 stayed at $1,500 with a $100 price rebate, and the Annihilator stayed at $1,200 with no price rebate. According to the pricing judgment provided by the marketing research after quarter three, our customers received the pricing very well. Camino 2.0 scored a 100 across the board in recreation, mountain, and speed. Annihilator scored 87 in recreation and 100 in both mountain and speed. And then Jaguar 2.0 scored a 74 in recreation, which that is a little low. However, speed is not typical for recreational purposes, so that was kind of expected. And then it scored a 90 in mountain and 100 in speed. So then looking at advertising and marketing. Going into quarter three, we had two concerns that were brought to our attention from the previous quarter. Both were in reference to the advertising of our brands. At the time, we only had an ad for the Camino, and unfortunately, it did not meet the minimum requirements of the target segment. And then also, it was brought to our attention that we did not have an ad in place at all for the Jaguar, which was our second segment. So, with quarter three, we decided to redesign the Camino ad, and then we also created an ad for the Jaguar 2.0. Both of those ads redesigns were $6,000 each. Media placement for the Camino 2.0 cost us $25,000. We put it in the leisure and entertainment, health and fitness magazines, and then the general news magazines. And we also opted into internet marketing for $3,000. And then the Jaguar 2.0 media placement was $24,000. We placed it in the biking magazines, sport magazines, and business magazines. And we also opted in again for internet marketing. And then advertising judgment. So looking at quarter two, you can see where our concerns kind of came from. The Just Bike It, the one ad that we had for the Camino, ranked in at a 68 for recreation. And according to the metrics, I believe it said that anything below a 70 is alarming and kind of needs to be relooked at. So that's what we decided to do going into quarter three. And then on the other side is quarter three results. With Camino 2.0 at the top and Jaguar 2.0 at the top. And if you look over underneath recreation, mountain, and speed, we did not hit our target of 70 or above in any of those categories. So going into quarter four, we definitely have some planning that we need to do and some restructuring of our advertising.
Okay, our sales channel, we did have a sales revenue of 1.5 million, and our gross margin was 926,451. We do have 10 employees, 6 in the Amsterdam location and 4 in the Bangalore. In the Bangalore location, we have 1 specialized in service, 2 in recreation, and 1 in speed. For our human resources, we did look at our satisfaction rate. We noticed that it was not very good coming out of quarter two, so we looked at that and updated it. It did improve to 71%, which we are proud of. We increased the salary by $2,000, expanded our health coverage, and added a pension rate. For our manufacturing, we did a 60% of capacity used in our manufacturing. We had a projected demand for $2,250 or 250 bikes. We came in at 0 lost sales due to out of stocks, which I thought was good. We sold 393 Caminos, which is our recreation bike, 282 Annihilator, and 503 Jaguar. And I'm going to hand it off to Chase.
Thank you. Now, moving into the cash flow part of the business. As you see with our beginning cash balance for this quarter, we rose all the way up to $651,680. Now, as we take a look at the our next section here, the revenues, we had a massive gain for this quarter. Revenue being at $1,505,550. Now, of course, with everything, you get to have payments for stuff. So a lot of things like to hit on with the show was that our production rate per price went up significantly at $553,890. Also, another thing that we had to do, as we showed in the last slide, is that our sales force expense had increased almost double, so we can make sure our employees get treated a lot better. Nice thing that we had also in this quarter is that our store expense went down a lot, because since we already got ourselves established on our 2 main priorities. As we move on to the very bottom here, net operating cash flow, as you can see, has rose up to just about $500,000. The next thing to talk about is that After all the finances we had this quarter, we also did take another CD deposit for $300,000 for this 3 months. So showing that we had a total financing activities of $200,000 this quarter, and bringing our end period cash balance up to $1,349,685. On to the next slide here, which shows our gross profit. Shows all our money, everything we just talked about, simplified it here. So it's showing up to $926,451. Again, it shows our expenses that we have for the whole entire quarter and showing the other quarters. As I see, it's looking better and better as we move on through time. Showing our operating profit is now in the positive at $479,962. Over here in the miscellaneous income and expenses, we can see is what we talked about here. And the one thing I'd like to hit home at is that our net income is up to $458,005, which meaning our earnings per share have now rose up to $18. Okay, and then onto the accounting balance sheet here. We see we show the 3 quarters again. With the current assets that we added for this quarter, as said earlier, we added the 3-month CD of $300,000. The long-term assets, we have added the net fixed assets of $890,000, so bringing up our total to an amazing $2,539,685. It shows again there done equity. Okay, and then moving on to the finance, we got our stocks and our CD here. As you can see, we started off with 15,000 shares in quarter 1 with $100 per. So making up to 1.5 million for quarter 1. As you can see, in quarters 2 and 3, we've continued to add 5,000 per. We get $100 per as well, raising up to $2,500,000. Then again on the CD, we got it for $300,000 at a quarterly interest rate of 1.5. So our interest to earn would be $4,500 off of it. Handing it back over to Jalen here.
So this is our balance scorecard, which I think it looks like we are doing great. We are first in performance, wealth, human resource management, asset management, and financial risk. Our marketing effectiveness could increase. We do plan to look on that at quarter 4. Our investment in future, even though we are not in first place, we are still in a great standing there. It's not too low. And then our manufacturing productivity, I do feel like could increase as well. And back to Gary.
So what we've learned at the end of quarter 2, we kind of had some reservations about this quarter. Things weren't looking up, weren't looking so well. We actually ended up addressing some of our top concerns, which again included revamping 2 of our bikes and adjusting the price on the Camino, our recreational bike, to be more in line with our competition. And it really paid off. We're now making money, which we're very proud of. In the next quarter, we're going to square up our advertising to ensure that our advertising aligns with our products. And so we look forward to the future quarters, and thank you for joining us tonight.